think we're live. Hopefully I remember how to do this. But yeah, well, I came across a place called exorcism.org, and it's pretty cool. I'm gonna do some learning of it, learning of Factor. I might reset it just so that kind of all the progress is streamed. But yeah, let's see. I imagine there's a reset track. I'm just looking at my other monitor trying to keep track of chat and the stream. I was able to pop out chat from the YouTube site, but they still had like a big friggin' empty space for it. Anyways, let's like do stuff. So this is like the Hello World. I did it the other day. It's a little bit about setting up and getting familiar with um, how the platform works. Um, but yeah, we'll give her a spin. Um, just for a fresh slate here, we'll do that. I think I've got my REPL set up. Looks good to me. Download hello track actor exercise hello world, and that should make a little hello world here. Well, no. And then we've got lovely code. You're supposed to be like, change this to hello world. Yeah. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, the test helper doesn't work through their CLI client, but you can just run it via this. I might make a little helper for that. So it's gonna be like, call this, and it'll do that. Except we need to parameterize this to be like exercise name, but it's a variable, so we gotta name it proper. Then exercise name can be, what would it be? It would be the current working directory, the dir name part of it. Does dir name take a how? What's basting? Yeah. So it would have to be something like that. Yo, dog, I heard you like shells. Guard against them. So it should be like make sure curder matches this file's path plus exercise name. This file is dir name $0. Hell yeah, Haskell love. Hey, Wagafa. Oh, I did not update my tags. Sorry, we were doing Haskell last time. Hopefully you like Factor. My bad. Yeah, this is not Haskell right now. Let me let me get sorted here. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. We might end up playing with Haskell later, but I think I shouldn't advertise it as Haskell. Yeah, have you ever heard of the language called Factor? It's a concatenative language. But this is Bash. Every time I do this, I need to. Every time I do this, I need to like test it again because it's never exactly the way I think it is. But yeah, Factor is a concatenative language in the family of like fourth or like if you ever used BC, the basic calculator, it's like reverse Polish notation. Let me do that. But yeah, it's like the idea is your code is just a sequence of words. Some words look syntaxy like braces. Some words, some things are literals like strings and ints and stuff. But then like to upper is a word and it's a function. Unit test is a function. But yeah, it ends up reading and feeling a lot like a shell pipeline, and it's awesome. Let's try this. Yeah, that's unfortunately the problem. So I need like real path. guess we don't need the dir name part of it, eh? So this file is that, and then worker is the dir name of this file, but then slash exercise name. I should put this in quotes, lest somebody drop a space in one of these things. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet or whatever. Alright, so that's not right. Dir name of this file. Oh, exercise name is the full Monty. It is a little on the quieter side. Can't be good. We gotta crank it up. All right. So it's base name here. Yeah. So we've constructed workdir from where is this script located and what is the name of the exercise that we've detected. What is the check I'm trying to check? I'm trying to check that the current working directory when you run this script is under a sibling directory of this script. So this would be the canonical way to run it. It's really like PWD and name of script should match to the prefix through factor, right? This whole prefix up till factor. We need exercise name in order to pass the right value to the runner. $0 is always going to be a reference to the script. Yeah. This script and the current working directory should match up until the last component. So there's going to be a bashism for how to expand this file as but discarding some suffix. So let's go to my favorite place ever, the bash man page. It's not my favorite place ever. Woo. Easy there, keyboard shortcuts. Hmm? Parameter expansion. Default run. Let's get some more real estate here. Remove the matching prefix pattern. Noise, expansion, ridiculousness. This is really like the base directory. You know. Oh, yeah. So what are you up to, Wagafa? Are you just poking around streams, seeing what you can see, or trying to learn Haskell? Yeah, just poking around. Cool, cool. Hopefully we can get through this like setup stuff pretty quickly instead of not doing factor. Um, but I know my tendency would be to go to where the script is to run it, but not gonna work. So, all right. So I'm just gonna do it the way I think I should do it. uh, echo right sed switch till the last slash. Actually, from the last slash. Um, I mean, it's that mod uh, expansion that we saw. Oh, the indecision. So the current directory, but without is that all it is? Aha! So LHS and RHS have to be the same, or else we're upset. If LHS not equal to RHS, then just an error. Error. Need to run this script from an exercise directory. Baster. So this should run the tests. Okay, that's a problem in my. Bear with me here. Local tools factor. Local bin factor. Wait, this should always be RL wrap. And if they do pass parameters, we're going to do command with the arguments, else command is RL wrap command. Hooray! Hey, Sneaky Donkey, welcome back. You snuck in there. How you doing? I should update my like stream title or something. Checking out exorcism.org and I'm glad to hear you're good. I'm doing pretty well as well. Doing this thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of Factor, which is a language, or if you've ever heard of exorcism.org, which is this like platform I found the other day. It's all about like learning different languages and all that jazz. But it's like a not for profit and free and open source. Never heard of Factor? Oh, you moved to Toronto. Well, there you go. I'm just in Waterloo, which is like an hour away from Toronto. Going to Factor or going to Toronto is not a big deal. Yeah, Factor is a concatenative language. So if you've ever heard of Forth, Forth it was like the OG concatenative language, but Factor's like a newer version, a newer realization of the concatenative paradigm. It all reads like a shell script pipeline, which is like kind of sweet. Right. So running the test there worked, and running the test here should not work. Ah. Okay, that was way harder than it should have been, but we may, in fact, get to doing Factor. I didn't capitalize. Ah. I have to go in 10 minutes. I should set a timer. Man, I forgot about that appointment. Oh well. So I think that worked. So now that we've solved the exercise, exorcism submit. And then you can do that. And it passed. Yay! I wish I could auto publish everything. So yeah, I've done factor before, but not for anything other than playing. There was this old website called Rosetta Code. It's like a Wikipedia for. It's a programming chrysanthemum site. uh, Basically, it's like here's a sample problem. And like here's all the different ways to solve it in different languages. Um, so for example, if you know C, you can see all the a bunch of example problems. So ascending primes. So generate and show all primes with strictly ascending decimal digits. So they've got solutions for it in all these different languages. So there's probably one in Haskell, right? H. So that's a solution in Haskell. Or you can see a solution in Go. Or you can see a solution in Algol 68. Or Rex. Or even Factor. So yeah, I came across Factor when I was like, I guess I was in university still, and like playing around with Rosetta Code and learning different languages and stuff. And it looked like such gobbledygook. It started out as fourth that I was learning, and it looked like such gobbledygook. And I was like, I want to know how to do the gobbledygook. So I learned some, but it was a while ago, so I'm gonna try to learn some more. All right. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out exorcism.org. It's pretty cool. So this is like the first like fourthy or like factory kind of problem. So factor is a concatenative language. Instead of calling functions with infix, you do prefix. Postscript is like that as well, I believe. Is it prefix notation or postfix notation? Postfix notation. Yeah. Comments are with a bang, and whenever you do something, it runs that word. If it's a literal, it pushes it onto a data stack. And then as words run, they can read from the data stack and push to the data stack. That's your parameters and your return values. You can define your own words, which are basically functions that have some number of inputs from the stack and put some number of outputs on the stack. The compiler makes sure you don't violate what you said you would do. So resto is a new word. So make a new word, call it resto. It's going to do something that's equivalent to take two things from the stack and then put two things to the stack. The implementation of this word is a sequence of words, like reverse Polish notation. Yes, exactly. So the implementation of this word is one word. It's swap. Swap is a built-in. It swaps the top of the stack. And then it turns out that a lot of what you're going to be doing in Factor is manipulating the stack. And you do so with what they call shuffle words. So you can take something from the stack and put 2 copies back. You can take something from the stack and not put it back. You can, as we saw, swap. You can grab the thing one underneath the top of stack. You can drop the thing one underneath the top of stack. You can rotate the top 3 things. There's a lot of different things. You can imagine like when you're chaining function calls together, uh, somebody might return, you know, AB, but you need BA, or you need to take something from this function return and that function's return and that function's return, but you need to like swap and stash, and you end up doing a bunch of gymnastics, and it kind of tickles the brain in the right way to make it fun. But yeah, so we'll just do some stuff, and then I'm gonna have to go. Will I have to go? Hold on. Ugh. Pardon me. Oh, no, I don't have to go. Why did I get a message saying I had to go? It's in a day that I have to go. Awesome. More time for Factor. All right, so swap crates. It's swap. And then clear the spill. What's that supposed to do? Takes 3 crates off the stack and leaves the bottom 2 behind, discarding the top one. Let's drop. Peek under. Keep a copy of the crate underneath. Takes 2 crates off the stack, leaves them behind, with a copy of the lower crate placed on top. That's over. I just remember like these words, partly from my days in Factor and partly from having done this problem last night. I reset my progress so that we can do this all on stream. Then tidy deck. 3 crates off the stack, leaves behind ZZY. So this is the first like whatchamacallit, kind of stack shuffle puzzle that we'll solve. So the first thing you see is like X is not there anymore, right? So we'll do like rotate drop. So that'll change it to like YZX to YZ, right? So then we need ZZY. So if we dupe, we'll end up with YZ goes to YZZ, and then we'll just need to rotate again. Hooray, it works. But yeah, so you'll end up solving a lot of like little mini puzzles this way that are like this, just in the course of trying to move things around. And it feels good to solve them. All right, let's submit. Yay! And then another nice thing about this platform is that you can actually like look at other people's solutions, or you can like keep iterating and try to do it differently. Like we could think about like we could do instead like a swap and over. So if we did swap and then over, it would go from YZ to ZY, and then to ZYZ, but we need ZZY, so we need another swap. And if we run the test again, hey, so we're learning there's more than one way to skin a cat, and some are better than others. Uh, and the thing about the community solutions is that you can kind of get a gist or a feel for the like idiomatic way to solve things in a certain language. Because it's one thing to know like the syntax and the semantics, but it's another thing to be able to read and write code that other people will recognize and have an easy time reading and understanding. Oh, my headphones are dying. But yeah, so I'm gonna work through a few of these things and have some fun. All right. Now we're gonna write words that compute things. Yeah. So a word is the name for a function. Pops values from the top of the stack, pushes some values back. Dot is pop and print. Plus and minus and star work on the top two values. Uh, this always gets me. Let's make sure that is what it is. Ooh, my helper. My helper, no. So if I don't run it with any arguments, we need to say run listener. Um, I think this is the way to kind of see the value is like we've got a stack and then let's do an operation to the stack. If we take one away from the top element, right? Yeah. So this is kind of the motivating factor for why the positive value would be, to not the top, but under the top of the stack. Yeah. Anyways, helper for showing the data stack. You use math. You define your parameters and your results. Yeah. There's this is just conventional. Um, mhm, mhm. Constant. Ugh. So apart from defining like regular words that read and let push and pop from the stack, you can also define what they call parsing words, where you can extend the syntax of the language and use backer code to uh, where am I going? To manipulate the input stream of the program itself to do things. So like defining a constant, right? So under the hood, it might have a bucket that it can put things in, right? And a named map or something, right? But instead of like fetching the mapping, updating the mapping, overwriting the old mapping, this will do that for you, and it can do it in the syntax that reads nicely. Um, okay, write some code to help you cook a brilliant lasagna from your favorite cooking book. Oh, the other thing I forgot to do. So, unfortunately, this only runs the first test because there's this like um, convention, I guess, of only enabling the first test by default. Um, there might be a way around that. Hold on. Track factor, exercise, lasagna. Uh, so maybe my run test helper will also patch the the test file to remove stop here because I want to run all the tests. All right, so if I look at lasagna test drop factor, there's a stop here line. I don't want that line. There, that's the test I want to run. Yeah, yeah. So then the way to do that would be what? Patch code stop here helper. In place edit slash delete line, I think, is that. Uh, so from lasagna, it's under lasagna tests. Let's do a little test to see if this said command is right. I will not edit the file in place. Huzzah! There we go. So there's a bunch of problems it's going to throw, and that's fine. So expected bake time should be 40. We can do it like this. And then define the preparation takes the number of layers you added to the lasagna off the stack and leaves behind how many minutes you spent preparing it, assuming each layer takes 2 minutes to prepare. So 2 times top stack. 2 times the top of the stack, and then it leaves behind. It doesn't print it. Okay, calculate the remaining oven time in minutes. Okay, so expected bake time less the remaining time. So it's like but now we have to swap and then subtract. Then total working time. 2 arguments, number of layers in the lasagna, then how long it's been in the oven, total time spent cooking so far. So it's the preparation time plus the time already in the oven. Okay. So I'm going to swap current time out of the way, take the layers and convert it from number of layers to number of minutes, and then add them. Why? Why? No word named star. Yeah, there is. Do I have to like use math? Oh, okay. Yuck. You don't have multiply unless you say use math? Whatever. And then they have auto graders that look through your stuff. Yay! And there's achievements. I've seen this puzzle myself and obsessively drawn cryptic scribbles. Yeah. Given a positive integer, return the number of steps it takes to reach one according to the rules of the Claude's conjecture. Yeah. So counting from the second number, it took 9 steps to reach one. 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or I guess what they mean is counting from the second number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay. So, let's do that one. Claude's conjecture. All right. So, now we get into conditionals, which are like mind-boggling. So I don't want to destroy the n, so I'm going to dupe it, and then 1 equal think it's like that. I would have to look at the uh, the concepts again, which I guess was kind of the point of doing this to begin with. But what happened? What happened to my read line? Why wouldn't that work? Is it that dollar hash is 1? No, 0. My dog is whining about something. What's wrong, Bernie? Oh, it's EQ question mark. Yeah. Bernie, relax. So it's like, is it equal to 1? Um, it's like, else. Yeah, you don't need the else. So 1 and 1 are not equal. Oh, is 10 less than 3? That's the true path, and that's the false path. Oh. I should probably read instead of just assuming. Um, mhm. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is say, like, push, we've done 0 steps, and then grab the number in question. Is it equal to 1? Return the top of stack. We need to drop the old n. Okay, so it's like no, and then if it's not 1, then step. What we're going to do is like swap clots, swap 1 plus, and then steps. It helps to break it out and to write down your intermediate steps. So it's like n and then 0. So n 0 n 1 equal. Right? So then if that is true, is there an equal 1? Why don't I have tab completion? Or all that. So it should be RL wrapped. Does it not do tab completion? Oh. Bummer. Because there's two ways to do read line. There's with RL wrap, and then there's this like built-in read line listener. But I bet the read line listener actually does tab completion. It's just really slow. Yeah. Well, at least I understand now. So that's the binary. If we didn't pass anything, we're going to say, sorry, if we did pass something, we just call it and pass what was passed. Otherwise, we run the readline listener. Oh, that's annoying. There might be a way to tell readline to do it right with RL wrap, but yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so if it was 1, we say drop the n, that's how many steps it took. Otherwise, we put the number of steps underneath n, we iterate it, we swap them back, we add 1 to the steps, and then we recurse. It is tail recursion, but there might be a better way to do it with like a real loop. But we can also just define plots. So there's like an is even. I think. One even? No. So do even divided by 2. Otherwise, multiply by 3, then add 1. Yeah. Oops. And then, yeah. Let's try that. Really? Math. Oh, yes. So what does this do? This says it's steps and then 1 plus. Yeah. So swap the count, run calots on the thing. It's really like 1 plus, then swap, then run the thing. I gotta do this. it's not nip, it's drop. And then here it's swap 1 plus swap. And then iterate, and then steps. I think. Is steps tick not a viable thing? And it needs to be defined before it's used. Oh, and we need to end our thing. Oh. We need to fail with non-positives. Dupe 1 less. What are we supposed to do? Throw the string. Hey, success. Hey, Ederui. Red out. Redawi? How's it going? I need to uh, get going, but today we looked at exorcism.org, which I'm really new to, but I think it's pretty neat. And we were looking at the factor track on exorcism. I am doing well, but I do have to go. So thanks so much for watching. Did I finish that game project? No. It's to a point where somebody else could take it on, but there's still a lot of work to do, like a lot of graphical glitches and a lot of probably crashy stuff. But the scaffolding is there. I think I'll work on that again sometime, but I wanted to check this thing out today. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again next time.